Good Thursday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and I want to say congratulations to the Mets. What an outstanding performance over the last 4 games. You're going to the World Series, the first time in over 16 years. And this is the in-depth video forecast analysis discussion for this Thursday, the 22nd of October, 2015, and I do need several cups of coffee this morning. Partly cloudy to clear skies across the forecast region this morning. It's quite warm and delightful for this time of the day. The temperatures are in the upper 40s rather. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Upper 40s to the upper 50s in Central Park, where it's partly cloudy and 59 this morning. The winds are all calm or out of the southwest, and we're going to do one more day of warm temperatures before a cold front brings some showers to the region, and then some chillier air coming in for the weekend as well. Morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and Digital Atmosphere Software shows the warm front moving to our north and east with a few showers ahead of it out into the mountains here in New England, and the cold front which is coming in from the west, and it will be passing through our region during this evening. There'll be a few isolated showers around the region, but nothing of importance here as the high begins to move off the coast. Southwesterly winds take hold, and then winds switch around to the northwest with a modified air mass coming in with polar Canadian high pressure again for the part of the weekend. We'll get into the details in just a moment. Morning satellite, visible satellite imagery shows a few patchy clouds across interior sections. Not too remarkable here as the warm front makes its way to the north and east. Generally outside of that, it's generally clear to partly cloudy on this beautiful Thursday morning. Warm temperatures. Here's all the lifting with the water vapor channel in southern New England here away from our area. And we're not really looking for any particular rain showers here across the region. There are some here across the mountains in New York getting into northern New England as the warm front makes its way further to the north and east. And the cold front back here with a few showers across the Ohio River Valley. It could touch off a shower, an isolated shower later this afternoon and evening as we head into a rush hour this evening as the cold front makes its way through the region. Watch as warnings and advisories for the central and southeast portions of Long Island Sound here in the coastal waters. We have a small craft advisory in effect from 2 o'clock this evening till 6 a.m. on Friday for the winds gusting out of the west at 10 to 20 knots, gust up to 25 knots, seas averaging about 3 to 6 feet. And we could find that we might need some small craft advisories along the New Jersey coastal waters tomorrow morning too, as the winds will be gusting in out of the northwest. Large-scale view of the United States with the weather impacts at temperatures in the 50s right now across most of the region in the northeast, and going to do one more warm day here. Had some clearing skies and calm winds allowing for radiational cooling out here in the mountains of the Carolinas here this morning. We have some severe weather going on in the Arklatex region here of Texas, the Panhandle here. We have tornado warnings. Watch it boxes out all over the place here for some lightning, some hail, some thunderstorms, and some wind damage here. And this will not really affect our weather too much, but just wanted to point this out. If you're traveling down through this area of the country today, it's going to be a quite stormy period here. Now, we do have Hurricane Patricia here out south of Mexico here, and we'll be heading to the north and east as a hurricane as it makes its approach into Guadalajara, into the mountains here of Mexico. This storm system here by next week will be across the northern New Orleans area, and a cold front will be coming in from the north and west. There could be some kind of a phase between these two systems and high pressure moving off the northeastern mid-Atlantic coast states, and that would mean that we're going to have a period of wet weather potential around here for the mid to the late part of next week, and we'll explain why in just a few moments. Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of weather going out in the New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle. As of last night and early this morning, large amounts of hail has fallen, heavy rain here in portions of Texas, and snow here in the mountains around Santa Fe and Albuquerque, New Mexico, and a couple of inches of snow, even several inches, up to 10 inches in spots in the higher terrain. And all of this weather will be moving into the north and east, away from, well, actually spreading east over the next 24 to 48 hours. A lot of damage reports already showing up this morning as well in this area. On the aviational weather deck today, we have VFR conditions expected through the period. Little light fog early this morning burning off in some of the locations here. Anticipating an increase of high and mid-level clouds, a band of stratocumulus with bases around 4,500 feet is forecast over parts of the area for early tonight, with clearing expected late tonight, and that's after the cold front comes through. The cold front and northwesterly winds will pass through the region this evening, expected to reach around Allentown, Reading, around 10 o'clock or so, Philadelphia, and North Philadelphia and Trenton, closer to 11 o'clock tonight, and probably around midnight around Millville and Atlantic City. There's just a slight chance of some light rain showers. The potential for any significant precipitation is not much higher than to mentioned in the terminal forecast this morning. Southwest winds around 6 to 10 knots developing across the region. The wind may veer more toward the west during late afternoon and evening as the cold front approaches. The wind direction expected to shift back to the northwest behind the cold front tonight. Friday, predominantly VFR, north to northwest winds gusting up to 20 knots at all terminals possible, especially during the mid-morning and again late in the afternoon with the heating of the mixing of the day. Friday night and Saturday, predominantly VFR. Low probability of some patchy fog early Saturday morning at Allentown and Reading and Millville, and then a slight chance of a light rain shower late Saturday afternoon and evening around Allentown and Reading too, as another front makes its way through. Saturday night and Sunday, MVFR possible in some showers, otherwise VFR conditions. Sunday night and Monday, predominantly VFR, northwest winds veering to the northeast along the coast and gust up to 20 knots at Atlantic City and Millville possible. Right now, not bad at Newark, 52 degrees, dew point 47, humidity 83%, visibilities at 10 miles or better. A few clouds at 11,000 and 25,000, VFR conditions in place. Philadelphia this morning on the tarmac looking good. It's 53, dew point 48, wind southwest at 6, visibility is better than 10, a few clouds at 12,000 and 26,000, VFR conditions in place. Current national analysis here and forecasted charts through the next couple of days into next week. Here's our warm front with an area of low pressure around the Cape Cod area, just to the north and east of that, north and west of that. Here's our upper low across just south of James Bay, Canada, dragging that warm front to the north and east with a few showers this morning, and the cold front moving in for later this afternoon and evening. The cold front will be preceded and accompanied by a few light scattered showers around the region. Then high pressure begins to build back into the forecast again from tonight into the weekend. Now here's our big question mark for the early part of next week, the orientation of the high. Obviously by Friday night and Saturday night, the high will be parked in a fashion here that will allow the winds gradually to shift to the north and northeast. Meanwhile, another system here out in the central and northern plains on two jet streams, the northern jet and the subtropical jet here, moving towards slowly to the north and east, dragging another cold front in through the region. By the first part of Sunday morning, we could have a few light showers around Saturday night and Sunday as the cold front makes its way through. And then just another reinforcing shot of high pressure for the beginning part of next week. Now, Patricia, which is out over here, will now be, its remnants will be located across the southern panhandle of Texas here and into the Gulf here. And this is going to interact with another disturbance as high pressure begins to build in across the western United States. A deep trough is forecasted to form across the eastern United States, and the interaction between the two jet streams, the polar and the subtropical jet stream, mean a possibility of a rainstorm around here by the mid to the late part of next week. And this is what the current forecasted charts show for early on Wednesday morning as the high moves off the coast, and then it drags the cold front through on Thursday. This might be a little bit slower, with an indication on some of the model guidance that some significant precipitation could fall between Wednesday night, Thursday, and possibly even Friday of next week. So we just wanted to let you know that, and we'll show you that in the diagrams in just a moment. The next 6 to 10 days, obviously with a cool pool coming in below average in temperature and slightly above average in precipitation. This is from the period October 27th through the 31st. So this is not this weekend, it's the next 6 to 10 days following from October 27th through the 31st, and that's where the interaction between these two jet streams mean a wetter solution is possible. And the CPC, or the Weather Prediction Center here, the CPC, is definitely monitoring this. Over the next 8 to 14 days, which is the end, October 29th through November 4th, we're at or above normal in temperature. This is preliminary right now. And again, there's going to be a possibility of active pattern here going ahead with a little bit more moisture in both streams here to allow for wetness across the northern and central mid-Atlantic region. GFS model guidance into motion. Here comes the cold front. Here's our strong area of active weather here across the panhandle that we mentioned earlier. Here comes the cold front through the region, more high pressure building in across the northeastern United States. This storm system lifts to the north and east. And here comes Patricia here, south of Mexico here. This is going to be a contributing part to the forecast next week. We just don't know how far out this is going to turn. This is going to have an impact on our region. Here comes a second cold front in the northern branch through the area Saturday night, early Sunday morning, touching off a few showers along with it, the GFS a little bit slower with the cold frontal passage on Sunday morning, and then eventually just high pressure begins to build in for the rest of the afternoon on Sunday into a Monday and Tuesday. Now, this is the disturbance in the southern branch here. This was Patricia, and it's going to be along the Gulf Coast of Texas and the Panhandle here and Louisiana. And this is going to be an influence on our weather. Now, the GFS would like to keep the two streams a little bit separate. High pressure moves off the mid-Atlantic coast early in the period for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and this comes up on the western side here into the Ohio River Valley. And then, of course, the wind shift into the south and east, and the European model guidance is suggesting that a surface wave develops along the front here as a deep low across the upper Great Lakes moves to the north and east in Canada. And we're in the warm sector, so a moderate chance of showers and even thunderstorms is possible, with just a plain rainstorm possible around here early part, mid to late part of next week before the cold front makes its way through. So next week is definitely looking, from the mid to the late part of the week, is definitely looking a little bit stormier now than earlier indicated. We just don't know. This is very intense low here in southeastern Canada around Quebec at 985 millibars for next Thursday afternoon, October 29th. So could be clearing out just in time, and then a secondary cold front could be moving through the region just in time for Halloween, ushering in a northwesterly wind, strong drop in temperature, and maybe it's looking okay out there for trick-or-treaters, but it's going to be a stormy period from the mid to the late part of next week, and how the interaction between the two jet streams plays out, we just don't know yet. Stay tuned. Yes, we noted that the microphone cut off again. We try to move the USB port around, but still there's problems with this microphone. Third cup of coffee this morning, too. That's not happened in a very long time. I need to wake up. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a great Thursday.